Back on Sports Pit, Pauly and Teddy. Time for big game breakdown. Nationals and the Rockies. Nationals $1.60, 10.5 the total. Strasburg against Gray. The key here, which of these two struggling starters can find the form again? Strasburg has already thrown 16 more innings than he did in 2015. Is he wearing down, Teddy? We'll look at the numbers here.
Yeah, sure. I mean, look, the first 20 starts of the season, Strasburg basically unhittable. 15-1 with a 2.63 ERA. Now, all of a sudden, the last two starts, 0-2 with an ERA of 9. Now, he's only lasted 10 innings of those last two starts. He's labored through 191 pitches in those two outings, and they weren't even against good lineups. We're talking about the Braves, who are, the worst lineup in baseball, and the Giants, who've been ice cold for weeks. Two offenses that have been struggling. It's worth noting, Strasburg has relied a lot less on his changeup in August than in previous months. Last year, hitters hit 171 against his changeup. This year, hitters have hit 165 against his changeup, and they struck out 49 times in 85 at-bats. And yet, he's only thrown it about 5% of the time in his last three outings, a huge decline from the first 3 months of the season when it was about 14% of his pitches. He's been relying on his slider more here in August, and that has been a less effective pitch for him. I'm not sure that Coors Field in a day game is the best place for Steven Strasburg to regain his previously dominant form.
Well, if Strasburg's tired, then Gray's just pitching on fumes. You look at this graphic, first 19 starts, 8-4 with a 3.85. Last two starts, 0-2 with an ERA of 15 and change. Only lasted 8 innings, 193 pitches, 21 base runners. Last start at the Phillies, one of the worst offenses. He was left in to face Ryan Howard with the bases loaded in the 5th on Friday because the bullpen for the Rockies has been so bad. He gave up a grand slam.
Yeah, he sure did. Here's his quote. "It's been really frustrating for me." Yeah, it was frustrating for me, too, when I bet on you when you were in Philadelphia last week. Sorry, don't mean to editorialize. "It's been really frustrating for me, and I hope these guys around me don't lose confidence in me. I'm going to do everything I can to be that guy again. I just hope they believe I will make it back, because I will." We're not talking about a guy that's coming back from a serious injury. We're not talking about a guy who's coming back from a trip to the minor. We're talking about a guy who's coming back from a couple of bad starts. For him to be that rattled off a couple of bad starts is definitely a concern to me as well, especially facing a potent Nationals offense at Coors Field in a day game. We'll get back to this game when it comes to play of the day time.
What do you think of the Nationals, their chances in October? I mean, even you got Strasburg struggling. Bryce Harper has 1 home run since July 8th, and they still have a great record.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to like in the National League. San Francisco hasn't really gotten it all together. You see all the teams battling for the wild card that haven't really gotten it all together. But let's be real. Chicago is the team to beat, and Washington is the contender. And if you're going to ask me if Joe Madden is going to outcoach or outmanage Dusty Baker in a 7-game playoff series, I mean, that's worth like a game and a half in Chicago's favor.
Yeah.
So I'm not sold. Washington's certainly better now they've gotten Papelbon out of there, or in the process of getting Papelbon out of there. But it's not a team that I'm comfortable saying they're the team to beat, because they're not. They're a contender, not a pretender. They're a contender, but they're not the best. And I worry about their ability. A team that has consistently failed to hit or pitch in October. We saw that with Atlanta for a decade and a half. The teams that don't get it done in October one year aren't necessarily going to get it done October the next year. Look at Pittsburgh as another recent example for a team that hasn't gotten it done when it's mattered the most.
Hey guys, for the full video, go to sbrpicks.com.
Hey Sportsbit viewers, tune into today's show, MLB Odds Couple Show, Wednesday, August 17th. I told you yesterday, me and Mike Brenner are kind of heating up. We're up double digits in August, both of us. We had another winning day yesterday. I'm liking a bunch of picks on today's card. I don't know, man. Tune into the show today, Wednesday, August 17th. Anything else to add, Mike Brenner?
Absolutely. We're just clicking on all cylinders. We're going to continue doing it. So after you visit Teddy and Pauly, come on over to our house.